back, everybody. June 27th. And I'm out for a ride. Out on the Spyder. And I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to go. And I was like, oh, I can go down 345, or I can go up 93, or I can do this, or I can do that. But I settled with taking a little river ride down the Muskingum River, and I'm on 60 just outside of Zanesville. I don't know, just in one of those moods that water would be nice. I would love to get this thing back down into Florida again. It was really cool when riding from the city of St. Augustine Beach down to Flagler, and you're along the Atlantic Ocean, and it was quite warm. No, it was not quite warm. It was quite warm, but it was early in the morning, so everything was all hazy still. The sun hadn't burned anything off, so I have a picture of when I'm in Flagler with the Spyder by the ocean, but it's kind of hard to see it's the ocean because of the sun just didn't burn everything off yet. But it was an incredible ride getting down there and back. So I just been riding. And normally I hop on the Spyder and knock out a vlog, then I get back to riding again. But man, I've been riding for a good 45 minutes to an hour, and yep, here we are. So I think I want to talk about ownership of a Spyder, what to expect if you're looking at wanting to buy a Spyder, some of the quirks of a Spyder, and what I like and what I don't like. The things I do like about the Spyder, especially if you're a new rider. Now, if you come from a car and not a motorcycle, I think it's going to be a little bit easier to get used to the handling of a Spyder. And then, I don't even know if you can find a standard transmission where you actually shift and you have a clutch lever, unless you buy a base model F3. They're pretty much gone, so I'm not even going to talk about a standard shift. I'm just going to talk about the electronic shift. You got a little paddle right here, and you just bang it up. You don't have to let off the gas. I mean, you can be wide open and bounce it off at $8,000 and hit your upshift, and it's going to shift for you. So the ease of a Spyder is especially for a first-time rider, I think can really draw people in. I do believe a Spyder is pretty comfortable. I'm very happy with my F3. I've never been on an RT, but I hear they're just absolutely amazing and very comfortable. And then, of course, you can do whatever, however you want to go with your Spyder, like any other motorcycle. If it's just going to be a little commuter, so you pick up a little Riker. If you're going to do a little bit more riding, you get an F3. You can customize them with a whole bunch of accessories, from power to phone holders to windshields to different seats to even different shocks. And some of the quirks, especially with the F3, is trying to get gas. So you put the key in, and you flop it up, you put your key in, you turn it, you pick it up, and then you put your gas in, you close it, and that's where you can run into some issues. It's especially when they're new, it's quite funny trying to get it closed and locked, and it's difficult, it's tight. But after you get some miles on it, it frees up, and you don't have any issues. I think another quirky thing with the Spyder is how they do handle. I think if you come from two wheels, you're going to notice it a lot more than if you come from a car. But if you come from two wheels, and I had this issue, I didn't have preload set right on the front shocks, especially on my STS. And you kind of sit up on the STS, you're not down in it like an F3, so you don't really feel like you're one with this Spyder. But you can put a little bit too much pressure in the bars. Like, I'm just resting my hands on the bars, and that's all you need. Just resting your hands on the bars to keep your Spyder straight. Well, if you do a little bit more input than that, then you start going down the road, and not this dramatic, but you just kind of you're back and forth. And it took me a while to get used to that. In fact, when I bought my first Spyder, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I made a huge mistake. Why would I give up my two wheels, which I liked, but, it didn't suit how I wanted to ride. And I bought this F3. No, it was my RS. Man, it just didn't feel right. It felt like it was kind of tipsy and all over the place, and I couldn't keep the thing straight. But with time, with the RS, the same with the RS and the STS, I needed to bring the preload up on the front shocks to support my weight. After I did that and loosened up on the bars, realized, you really don't have to grip the bars. You just lay your hands on the bars and you stay relaxed and you enjoy the ride, and the Spyder handles a lot better. And I've always heard in the past, especially with the RS and the RT, 08 through 12, 13. 13 was, I do believe 13 was a bad year for Spyders. They had some heat issues. They had some ball joint issues. I mean, it was an in-between model. They were going to be changing from the V-twin to the 3-cylinder, and 13 they didn't have the motor ready, or for whatever reason they didn't put it in the RT, so all the heat shields were not in the right places, and they had some issues. And I kind of forget where I was going with this, or the reliability. So I think the V-twins, I had two. One I put 30,000 miles on, the other one I put 40,000 miles on, and never had an issue with the motor transmission. On the STS, the one I put 40,000 miles on, I had a lot of electrical issues. The radio, because it was equipped with a radio, wouldn't work. It'd be playing, but it didn't show that the radio was on, so you couldn't adjust the volume. You couldn't adjust anything. You couldn't change the radio station. You couldn't turn the radio off. And then it was the same with the cruise control too. Every once in a while it would just drop that I had cruise control, and the cruise control wouldn't work, and as well as other things. And it never got sorted out, and that's why I ended up with my F3. So when it comes to reliability, I do believe not really the F3, but I do believe the 3-cylinder motors are more reliable than the older V-twins. Now, that being said, I'd go out tomorrow if I had the money and pick up an older V-twin. I think they're a lot of fun, and they rev like they just rev, especially the 08 through 2012. Those things, 10 grand, I mean, and after 5 grand, they just make so much power. To where that 3, it's more low-end torque, so you don't have to really rev that motor to get the power out of the 3-cylinder like you did the V-twin. But I think the newer Spyders with the 3-cylinders are very reliable. I have, 72. I haven't put a lot of miles on this thing. I'm at 72,526. So I put like 2,000 miles on this thing this spring, summer. I mean, I haven't been riding. But I feel it's very reliable. I just recently had an issue. We had like 5 inches of rain. The Spyder sits outside. Went out and started it, and it dropped a cylinder. It was only running on 2 cylinders. And, I just took it nice and easy, and around the block I went a couple times, and I think what it was 5 inches of rain in one day. We just got some moisture and some of the ignition components that it didn't like, and it developed a mess. Have not had that since. So if you're looking for a Spyder, I would definitely be looking at the 3 cylinders, so 14, 15, and newer. Well, I would say 14. 14's when everything except for the RS and the STS, and I think they did away with those in 14, 15. So I would definitely be looking at that. There we go. Can't talk. I'd definitely be looking at that 3-cylinder. I feel it gets a little bit better gas mileage, a ton of bottom end torque, That way you can have fun with it at lower speeds. You really don't have to rev that motor to feel the power out of it. Ooh, this road's getting a couple, but there's another big bump. It's shaking the fatness. And then all I can say is, oh my goodness gracious, we're hopping over these things. Do your research. Make sure you pick the right shop. Make sure you pick the right dealership. There are some really, really bad dealers out there. I've gone to a couple of them. So do the best job you can at researching and look at reviews. Look at reviews of the service center as well. Just because you bought a brand new anything, it doesn't mean it's not going to break. I don't care if it's a brand new car, a brand new house, a brand new Spyder. Things happen. I had this one, and within a year we had to put a transmission in it. It happens. So make sure you can talk with your dealer. They understand where you're at, and they need to understand where you need to understand where they're at as well. And if you think it's like owning a vehicle, a car, and you can just call them up and be like, hey, I need an oil change, I'm dropping it off today, I'll pick it up in an hour. Yeah, it's a little bit different. It took me a long time to get used to how different it is from owning a toy to owning a vehicle, and how it relates with getting any type of repair done, warranty or otherwise. And then, the best thing to do is you can watch all types of YouTube videos, and they can say, the F3 is the best, or they can say the F3T or the RT. You just got to put your leg over one. First thing is sit on it. See if you like, how you reach the bars and how your legs fall. And then if you're comfortable with that, then, take it out for a ride. And, if they say, oh yeah, you can test ride them, just spin around in the parking lot, blah, 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 it's not a long enough ride. You cannot get how these things handle in a parking lot. You can't get them up to speed. You just, you want to know how it feels in the air. And if you've never been on a motorcycle, riding at 35 is different than riding at 65 or 70. The air moves around you differently. You want to make sure that you're comfortable and that the choice is right. You might get on one and love riding in the city, at lower speeds, but once you get out on the highway, it just scares you to death, or you're not comfortable. With me, I kind of set this up for touring. This is a cruiser at heart, so it's designed to, city driving, nice and slow, just cruising. But I like to throw some miles down here and there. So I was like, I need a windscreen. I got to keep the air off my body. And I purchased the BRP Blue Ridge windscreen, and it is absolutely horrible junk. I can't say I'm not going to say anything good about it, but I'm not going to be like, BRP sucks. I'm just going to say, there's a lot of buffeting. I still have it on here. I don't know. I'm going on 4 years with it. I'm kind of used to how it buffets, and I mean, there's times that you can't read street signs and you see one car, but it looks like there's 5 cars because your helmet's just buffeting back and forth so bad. So I would definitely, if you're getting an F3 and you're looking for a windshield, definitely go with an aftermarket windshield. Do not go with the Blue Ridge Parkway if you're going to do any type of highway driving. And if you are taller than, I would say, 5'8". I'm 5'11". Check that out, dude. He's chilling with a Miller Lite in his garage door with shorts staring out at the Muskingum River. Now, is that a life or what? What time is it? I don't even think it's noon. It's 11:12. Man, you guys got priorities, Just chilling. And of course, I'm in the great state of Ohio, and this is Ohio sunshine right here. I haven't put a video up in weeks, and I was kind of just flipping through here really quick, and every single video, Ohio sun. But give it time. You're going to pick up a Spyder, and at first it might not be what you thought it was going to be. It might not handle how you thought it was going to handle. it takes time to get used to something new, especially if you've never been on a motorcycle. And then if you're coming from two wheels, you know, there's no counter steering. You point the bars in the direction you want to go. Now I do lean, but not at this speed. I'm just gonna sit straight up. But if I'm coming into a corner kind of quick, I do lean my body. You know, corner right, I'm leaning right. Corner left, I'm leaning left. And what that does for me, it just makes me feel like I'm more with the Spyder. I never get that feeling. I've heard people say, you know, I go into a corner, if I'm taking a left turn, it feels like I'm being thrown off to the right. Well, if you're pulling your body down to the left, you don't feel that. And then I'm a heavy guy, so you know, the logic in my mind is I'm putting a lot of weight. I'm bringing my weight out here, and it's going to make the Spyder turn a lot better. If it's true, I don't know. It works in my head, you know what I'm saying? So get out there, get on a Spyder, take one for a ride, you know, do your research on the dealer. There's a lot of aftermarket support on these things now. Even if you want to do some work with the motor with flashing, and you know, there's some places around the world that will reflash your computer, so you get a little bit more out of the motor. And then of course there's all types of aftermarket exhaust, aftermarket air filters, so you can make it nice and quiet like it is from the factory, or you can put a decent pipe on there and then make it loud. I mean, whatever you prefer. And I gotta watch. We got rain in the area. It's been that way all week. I look out my window while I'm working from home because I'm not back to work yet, and it's gorgeous out. And then 2:30 it starts to cloud up. 3 o'clock it's getting worse. 3:30 it's raining, and that's when I get off work, and it's just like, no. So I am enjoying this ride today. Hey, we got a lock right here. I've stopped here many times. I think I'm just going to slow down and blow on past. There we go. There we go. Keep one eye on the road and one eye on the river. And they got them a little party barge out there. So drop a comment below. I'm really going to try to start focusing on the YouTube channel again. It's just I've been extremely busy, and YouTube suffers when I'm busy. That's just how it is. But if you got any questions about a Can Am Spyder, how they handle reliability, what I've done to this thing, how much I've spent on this thing, what's been covered under warranty, what hasn't been covered under warranty, you know, drop a comment below. I'm upfront and honest with everything about this thing. You know, I'm almost 73,000 miles. And you know, I do love the F3. It suits me, but as my riding habits change, you know, I might be looking at something a little bit different in the future. Still a Can Am Spyder, of course, but something a little bit different. So thumbs up if you like the video. Stay safe, everybody, and I'll see you down the road.